What's up, cultivators? We are back at it again with another business before they make it big. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yeah. How we doing, guys? Name's Gabriel Barboza. I can go by Gabe. I'm a real estate agent in the Houston area, surrounding areas as well. And happy to be here at CCN Network, here with my boys.
That's what's up. That's amazing. So, why real estate? Where did it all start?
All started, a couple of y'all may know this, goes by the Purple Bible, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was one of the first books I picked up when I was like 16, 17. Liked it, showed me a lot, different perspective, showed me about wealth creation. And it was one of the pivotal pillars that got me into this whole realm in the beginning.
That's amazing. So, where's your journey? Where are you on your journey right now?
Still pretty early. Journey is 1.5 years, 2 years coming in. Love it though. It's a lot of experiences, a lot of new challenges, a lot of trials and tribulations to show my character, show my true self, show how hard I really want this. Just came from an inspection, trying to help a client out buy a home. Things may not work out with this one, but you have a lot of places to choose in the Houston area.
Right. And real estate's a cruel environment a little bit. At least like when I was there doing cold calls. Yeah, no, that wasn't for the faint of heart.
Cold calls are terrible for me. It may not be for you. If you're watching this, if you like cold calls, all power to you. But many different ways to reach out to clients, reach out to individuals, potential clients, and stuff like that. One of mine is social media. I like to do sphere of influence. Reach out to people I know, friends, family, stuff like that. Yeah,
that's amazing. So, tell me, what's the brand that you're trying to build and establish?
Bigger brand that I'm trying to establish is just putting the real in realtor. There's a lot of times there's a principle that they go by in the industry. It's the Pareto principle. And they say about 90% of the realtors do 10% of the work and 10% of the realtors do 90% of the work. And I'm trying to be a part of that 10%, but I'm also trying to be not just that guy that's looking at you as a check. Granted, the money's great. It's very there. It's a feast or famine kind of industry, right? You either kill it and you're on top of it, or you don't kill it and you're kind of just like stuck at the bottom. And it's just sad to see, some people look at people as checks, but I'm trying to be there for you, trying to be there like your brother, like your sister, like your uncle, whatever it may be, however you want to look at me, it doesn't matter. It's just, this is a big financial decision that you make, one of the biggest ones in your entire life. So I just want to be real with you. And if I don't think that this is going to be a good fit for you, or if I think that, your opinion on this particular place is not that best, I'm going to let you know. And I'm not going to be scared of your retaliation or your kickback, because at the end of the day, it's a big responsibility.
Big time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you, on your social media and your Instagram, you give out everything they need to know to really get the ball rolling with structure versus, I want to do this and I'm just randomly going to go about that. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So again, no harm, no foul to the way things are done, to whatever content creator does their thing. But I just want to be different from the rest in regards to, most of the time you check out real estate, like Instagram people or real estate accounts. It's kind of just like, here's this $750,000 home. Let me walk you through it with some nice music and all that kind of stuff. And it's great, right? Shows you what's out there. It's very informative. This $750,000 home is roughly this amount in taxes or property and interest and all this kind of stuff. But people see that every day. Somebody can just go out. I want to go tour a $7,500 or $750,000 home by myself, and they can just do what you did in that video for free. The main thing I try to do is I try to give you facts. Like I always tell my clients, there's a difference in understanding the home buying process and understanding the home you're buying in the process. And what I mean by that is, like, you can go out and get a pre-approval. You can go find an agent. You can go under inspection, do some inspections, and buy the home, close. 30 days, yours. The difference being is when you really understand the home you're buying in the process, how much are your property taxes going to be? Are you going to do homestead exemption? What are you buying the home for? Is it to be close to schools for your kids? Is it to be close to work? Right? Because Houston, you can drive an hour and a half in Houston. You're still in Houston. Like, damn, like, there's so many different things that you have to really realize when you're buying a home, other than like, it's $250,000, it's $750,000. There's a lot more things to it.
Electricity, little side
utilities,
bills.
Everything. And people forget about it because they're so caught up in the emotions, and I get it, you know? Another thing I do with my clients that we just did a couple of days ago was when I walk a home with you, we do it 3 times. First time when we first go there. Second time, I give you a notepad and I tell you to look for every single possible nook and cranny.
That's amazing.
That can be a nuisance. You don't like it. Maybe it looked like, you know, a marker. I don't care. Because I need you to see for what it is rather than how you feel.
Right.
Because what it really is going to be the responsibility, the payments, the mortgage, the insurance, the Houston weather, right? The heat, the cold, the rain, the hurricanes. That's all stuff that weighs on you. And you really got to be able to make sure that you stay on top of it.
That's amazing. I like the fact that you really build the structure out for them, because a lot of agents, at least when I was an agent, it was, oh, this is coming up. I have to deal with this. This is coming up. But no, you already have systems in place where you can make sure it's a smooth transaction.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So can we talk about the hurdles of being a realtor and the character development?
Yeah, no, 100%. Not for the faint of heart. I'm just going to be real.
Yeah.
It's a feast or famine kind of thing. And if you're about it, you're about it. If you're not, you can join a team. There are many different ways and methods and avenues that you can be in the real estate game and not necessarily be an agent per se, right? You can work with a new construction community to be one of their sales representatives. So make good money, make commissions, whatever. You can be a part of a team where it's more of a structured kind of coaching mentality, mentorship kind of mentality and vibe, where it's like, you may not be the one making all the cold calls or, you know, DMing people on Instagram or anything like that, but they will, hey, I have a buyer. They'd like to see some homes. They're approved. They give you basically somebody who's ready to go,
Yeah.
you know, instead of finding that person on your own. And that's where I feel like a lot of new agents fall after the first year. It's just like, what kind of person are you looking for? What are your clients going to be? How are you going to find them?
Yeah.
Because if you're just waiting around, you know, my dad tells me this all the time, and you see it all over the Instagram and social media and everything like that. It's like, nobody's going to help you build a better life other than you. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have the systems in place, like you said earlier, if you don't have a method in which you maneuver in your madness, it's just going to crumble.
Right. So let me see. I'm thinking of a question. You mentioned about how most agents end up getting with the team. I had an interesting experience. I had someone tell me to actually not get on the team. You have anything to say about that, or like the comparison?
Well, to touch on what you said, like, I would say most agents don't join with a team in mind, but it's a very nice, I would say, approach to it, right? It alleviates a lot of stress. You know, you don't have to make the cold calls. You don't have to go searching for them. You don't have to do all the running around. But the only thing I see with teams, they're great if you need that coach. You know, if you need somebody to be on you and you really want to succeed, but you just need that little bit extra help, do it. Do it. If you need the help, do it. Don't think you're too big of an ego. Don't be too prideful. If you want to make it in business, if you want to make it in real estate and you just need a little bit extra help, do it. But it does come at a cost, right? Like you still have to pay your commission splits with the broker itself. Depending on what broker you do, that's that. But then you also have to pay a commission split off of the referral that they gave you or the client that they gave you, because you didn't go make the call. You didn't send that DM. You didn't do the hard work to get that client. So you got to pay up a little bit extra to the team lead who got you that person. So for me, you know, I'm trying to keep as much money as I can in my business. You know, taxes, Uncle Sam, you know, you're getting me.
It's like 30%?
Yeah, I save like 30%. Sometimes I look at the check and I'm like, let me save like 10. But as far as like whenever you're doing commission splits with your broker and the team, like sometimes you get like, again, I'm not part of a team and I haven't been a part of a team. So correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there, but it's like you make half of what you're supposed to make originally, from what I understand. And is it a convenient kind of thing? Yeah. I mean, if I didn't know, I'm not saying you don't do any work, but if I didn't do a lot of the heavy lifting and I was still going to collect the check, like houses aren't cheap. You still make pretty good money.
You could probably have a whole bunch of clients. 10 clients, and just run them through.
So that's the thing. And if it works for you, it works for you. But they always have this saying, I hear it all the time. It's like listers last, listing agents last.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. And I get it. But I mean, if you're just a buyer's agent, there's hella buyers out there right now. Houston's a big city, one of the top 3 biggest cities in the United States. So we're definitely going to be getting people. There's definitely going to be more business. It's just, how are you going to find that business? That's the main factor in how successful your business is going to be.
And what was interesting from my perspective, everyone was saying listings last, but all their connections were connections. It wasn't just, oh, a random lead. No, this is a cousin of a cousin that they know somebody, and before they know it, they're doing real estate for the whole family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. For the listing that I just sold on like a month and a half ago, I was there 4 days a week, every week till it sold. Nobody came.
Snap.
It was a gated community. I'll say that. It was a little hard to get in, but it's still like, it's about the work that you put in. You get out what you put in. And if you're just kind of just moseying around, meh, you're going to get that.
No, that makes sense. You reap what you sow.
There you go.
So what's your favorite client experience?
Favorite client experience? Honestly, I like them all. And I'm going to say this as a newer agent and as somebody who's going to be in this business for the next like 5 or so years, 10 or so years. I like them all because every single one's a different learning opportunity. I'm somebody that thrives off of like being wrong. I love being right. Don't get me wrong. But every single time something happens and it's a learning opportunity for me to grow, for me to understand, for me to be a master of the market, right? If you're an agent out there, like if you don't want to take a client because you feel like they may be difficult or you feel like, you have like some, I don't know, stigma or prejudice or something like that, it don't matter. Like take the deal, because even if you don't close on it, you're going to gain so much more. Because it's like, yeah, if you're in this business for a year and you don't make money, cool. But I'm in here for 5, 10, 15 plus years. So it's like every opportunity, whether I make money or not, is going to be something to learn from. And then the better I become a master of the market, when I get anybody, let's say 10 years from now, any single question,
you're ready.
I'm ready right there. And then they'll have that trust and be like, you know what? This guy got it.
Facts. Ready all the time. You have the experience. You have the real life experience underneath your belt. So you're just ready on the fly.
Yeah.
Wow. So 2024 is pulling up on us.
Yes.
What should your community be expecting from you?
Community should be expecting more effort. I always feel like we find ourselves, once we hit that momentum, a mentor of mine said this, the moment you start picking up momentum is when you start pushing harder on the gas. Do not let up. And that's what it is. And it's just every single day making a conscientious effort to do something that puts you a little bit better. You always hear it. At least I hear it on my Instagram and stuff like that. Justin Waller, work. No results, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
And every single day I try to do something very conscientious in either the real estate realm, which is my business, the faith realm, or physical realm, right? Working out or something like that. And it's just because if you just keep making that effort to be better, you will be better. It just takes time. So for 2024, more effort, more conscientious actions, and just being very mindful of who, I'm going to try to become as the year progresses, because every year is different.
That's amazing. So if you could build your own team, what kind of culture would you create in that team?
That's a good question. If I were to build a team, I think the number one thing that you'd have to do is just be able to, just as lame as it sounds or as redundant or whatever, like you just got to be real. Because like game recognizes game. And sometimes when you look at somebody, you're just like, yes. But other times you're like, you got something, but you don't know you got something. So if I were to build a team, it's just make sure you're real, make sure you're honest, integrity, right? Doing the right thing, even when it's not supposed to be done or when nobody's looking, right? Just not always to be like hounding, like be aggressive, be willing to put in the work, but don't be like, we got to move on this. We got to move on this. Like you have to buy this, you have to buy this, you have to sell this, you have to sell that. And then just at the end of the day, just be somebody who can have a conversation and just sit down with one of your clients, right? Like every single client that I've worked with, I've met them through conversation, straight conversation.
It's the real connection.
Yeah, and it's just like, it wasn't forced. It wasn't nothing. Like, for all the clients that I've worked with, they didn't sign actual paperwork to legally bind them to me until the day that we were closing.
Wow.
The last day, I was like, hey, I need this for compliance. And they're like, oh yeah, shit, my bad. And I'm like, yeah, if you could get that done so I can get my check. But that's it. Like, I have to earn your business.
That's amazing, though.
I'm not day one. You want to work with me? All right, I'm gonna send you some, check your email. 5 minutes after I send it. You gonna check your email? Nah, bullshit. Like, I have to earn it. And by earning it, we have to have a real connection. And sometimes it sucks. Like, I'm a newer agent. I don't want to say this for newer agents if you're watching or whatever. Just to be real, as a newer agent, your time ain't worth shit. But you also have to realize you don't have to work with everybody. Just because you have no money coming in, or you have no, brand new clients coming in every single day, this, that, the third, you have to make sure you're working with people who want to work with you, because that makes the transaction a hell of a lot better, way less stressful. And then the way that I do business, if I have something to say against something that you're saying, I can say it with my chest, and that's it. And you'll either take it and you'll respond however you want to respond, because I can't control that, or you'll be too afraid to say something. And let's say they buy it 2 years down the line. Hey, this, and this, and this, and the third, and why aren't you? And this, and then now, instead of having a good person to give you references, that's one person. Anytime they hear real estate, they're like, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy, yeah. And you, when I'm making cold calls, people say that.
Yeah.
Last realtor, fuck that guy, and they'll say out the name.
Yeah. If people...
You have an experience like that?
The amount of times I've been cursed out over cold calls, it's literally because, like, I'll get in so late to the game. You're supposed to cold call legally, like, at 8 o'clock. People do it at, like, 6:37.
I was doing that at 6:37. Yeah, what? I did not know that.
So, like, there's a window, but I don't think Trek really cares. I mean, I probably will after this. But, like, I called some dude at, like, 9:30, 9:45. I thought maybe you just got into work. He's settling in. He's like, you're the fifth dude to call me. Shut the fuck. I was like, I just said hello. Like, I didn't even say anything else. And that's when I was like, yeah, cold calling is probably not for me. Because I did it when I was working with investors, but that's different. Because it's like,
they want to hear.
Investors want to hear, and it's numbers, and it's facts, and it's, you can get this kind of cap rate, you can get this return, you can get this is your profit margin, this is your ARV. They want to hear it. When you're on the residential side, it's feelings.
Yeah.
And I get that. And I empathize with that, because you want to go into a home that you're like, this is my home, this is my spot. Like, this is the place where everybody's going to hang out, all that kind of stuff. So I get it. But then at the same time, some people got really riled up emotions so early too. It's like, it's 7 a.m.
I don't know what it is. I think it's everyone has the same list.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I don't know. Like,
I got one list one time and I was like, this is exclusive. And then I went to my broker and she goes, yeah, I sent that to everybody in the office. And I was like, there was like 120 people at the time. And I was like, damn.
Man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and start moving towards closing it out. Can you close out with telling us what's your dream vision? So next 5-10 year goal. And then also, what's the impact you want to have on your community? Because, we're a community cultivation network.
Yeah. So as far as 5-10 year plan, goals and whatnot, I want to use the knowledge and experience that I gained from this to move forward into the next stepping stone in my life, which would be real estate investing.
Yep.
And I also want to be very adamant, since I'm documenting for the most part my real estate agent career. I want to do that and carry that on into all the other aspects that I have. So I want to start documenting next year. I want to try my best to get my first rental property. So the whole process of doing that, I want to document, explore every nitty gritty fucking thing, like how much it costs. I don't care. Like, I'm going to be here for a while.
Yep.
I'm going to be here as an open book. And I just want to be a resource, right? Like, I'm a resource to my clients as a real estate agent. I want to be a resource to my potential investor clients whenever they see 5-10 years down the line. They're like, hey, maybe I want to invest in a property, but I don't know how to go about it. I'm like, check out my Instagram or check out my YouTube or something like that, right? And just be like the step-by-step instructions to make sure that it's just there.
And you have a social proof now. So if anyone has any questions, like, I have 10 years worth of proof right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, you can go to timestamp this and check this out. So as far as that, like, that's what I want to do 5-10 years. Just build that. Just build, right? Generational wealth. Just be there and just be like the cornerstone of my family for that. And then for, you said the community, what kind of
community impact?
Community impact. I would say the kind of impact I want to have on the community is just don't take life too seriously. Just be real. You're only you. There's no point in trying to be somebody else. And the more real you are, it'll show whether or not the people around you appreciate it. And I try to live my life completely 100% unapologetically. I do not care what you say, how you say it towards me.
Yep.
Because if you don't fuck with it, I don't fuck with you.
That's what's up. And I also wanted to touch up on one more thing, because you mentioned something that recently has been an eye-opening moment for me in my life, is how to get clients. And you mentioned how it's real connections.
Yeah.
So how do you go about getting new connections for the realtors that are new, struggling, were in the same situation I was, and they're just
getting cursed
not
out.
doing it right. And it's like they're hitting up the clients, and instead of coming from a place of value, they're coming from a place of, hey, here's the email. Did you check it?
Yeah. Yeah, coming from a place of value. So like, to touch on that, you got to come from a place of value rather than a place of desperation, right? Because like I said, it's feast or famine. So if you make the business, you're making it. If you don't, you're screwed, right? So I think Gary Vee says it, his jab, 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 hook, right? So, and also somebody who I look up to, I like to, if cultivating a community, Alex Hormozy, that dude is a beast.
By the way,
yes.
Bringing me on, because it's been a game changer.
If anything, if y'all are about business for real, Alex Hormozy, Layla Hormozy, his wife, they're killers. Take some business like advice, or look at their stuff just to check it out. But it revolutionized the way I do my stuff, and the way that it is just like give until they feel so bad taking from you that they want to work with you. And that's what I do with my social media, where it's just like, you don't have to pay. There's no channel, there's no group, there's no nothing. It's just like, I'm just giving you all this information. One, because you need to know as a homeowner, right? Like, you're spending $250,000, $500,000, $1 million on a home. You need to know you need to know it like the back of your hand. If you don't, that's a problem.
Real problem.
That's a real problem. If you ask your agent a question and they don't know, like it's the back of their hand, bet your ass, like, you're screwed. But you need to know all these things, and you need to know just literally, I can't say it any better. You need to know your house like the back of your hand. And the information that I put out is for you to do that, because nobody else is going to tell you. Nobody else is going to teach you. Maybe your parents, if they had a couple homes, etc. But if you're a person that's come from an apartment or a condo, or you never owned a home, or you're just now buying it, there's a whole plethora of things you got to worry about now. And so just making sure that the content's out there, making sure that it's accessible, making sure that it's digestible. That's the main thing. Digestible is something that I got to work on. So for y'all, like, it'll get better, hopefully. It'll get better. But it's just putting it out there. Give until they feel so bad they want to give back.
And I hope that you guys understand that he just gave away the game on how to get clients, and it's just connections.
That's it. Just connections.
That's it. Thank you for joining us for Ccgo. We'll catch you when you're big.
All right, bet.